Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Luke St. Martin, Eric H526, thank you for being such amazing moderators. Ladies and gentlemen, to my super chat, thank you so much for supporting my voice. People, we're in the home stretch right now. It's about, 5 months. We're at almost the middle of June, July, August, September, October, and then November 3rd. So we have 4.5 months, people. We have 4.5 months, ladies and gentlemen. We have 4.5 months. Democrats, media, Hollywood, corrupt intelligence officials, your friends, family members, people who take CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post very seriously because they've been so honest and fantastic. And they've exemplified. They've embodied they're the epitome of integrity, journalistic integrity, and truth. There are millions of people on social media who have devoted their lives to despising President Trump. They have who they are as human beings revolves around contempt for President Trump. I'm not the biggest fan of Madam Secretary, but I don't have any contempt for her. I don't despise her at all. I just look at somebody who never had a foreign policy decision that worked out ever. Every foreign policy decision has been an absolute unmitigated catastrophe that has harmed the lives of millions around the world. Parabiology 101, hello. Jimbo, hello. Everybody, hello. Cosmic Grandpa, hello. David, hello. But you look, ladies and gentlemen, and it's like veteran who approves, hello. You look and it's like we have 4.5 months and only one person, President Trump, almost 1 million people have requested tickets to Saturday's rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. President Donald Trump on Monday morning, almost 1 million people request tickets for Saturday night rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Vice President Mike Pence will be there as well. The capacity is 62,000. Okay, so speaking to reporters in Washington, the president said the convention hall near the BOK Center will be used, increasing total capacity to 62,000. You couldn't find 62 people for the former fantastic Vice President Biden, who's such a wonderful human being. This is also not only satire, but it's good for the algorithm. Because, the AI robots, did H.A. Goodman saying nice things about Madam Secretary and Biden? Nice things? He loves them. Gee, okay, we'll leave him alone. But people, I have a new pinned comment. I've revised my pinned comment. Look at the pinned comment below. I just want to take you down a trip down memory lane. And some really important things regarding the new pinned comment, because I know that my 11 p.m. Pacific crowd is all my viewers are amazing, but this is like the elite, the special forces of H.A. Badman viewership. And if you look, ladies and gentlemen, go to the bottom of the pinned comment. I actually wrote 2 fantasy novels, and I have a great many really wonderful reviews, but I'm very proud of the following 3 reviews. One is from Fantasy Book Review. It's a great fantasy, it's a science fiction and fantasy book review site in the UK. And one of my books, Breaking the Devil's Heart, got an 8.2 out of 10. So that's pretty good for a review. And so you can read the review for Breaking the Devil's Heart. That's one of my novels. And if you're interested, it's 99 cents on Kindle. So if you're bored, you can just read the book. It's, if you like a if you like it's almost like an existential fantasy novel. If I had to be forced to describe the type of book that it is. So, and then there's another book that I wrote called Logic of Demons, and sciencefictionbook.com gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and that's also a really great review site. And then Kirkus Reviews gave Breaking the Devil's Heart a really good review as well. But I have like a whole bunch of really, really great reviews that I'll put on my website whenever my website is up. And if you look, I have a revamped, if you go to the top, it says subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. Then it has me in 2015 predicting 2016. My Patreon is there. You can it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. But then I have NPR when they quoted me. And I have my Times of Israel articles and my Huffington Post article in 2017 predicting Clinton running. I'm just going to go through this really quickly because it's kind of important. It's a lot more important than people think. So then there's H.A. Goodman Hyperbole Translator channel. I'll find something to do with that channel very soon. Then I have my Bill of Rights documentary. Then I have my writing in the Jerusalem Post. And then me deadlifting 315 pounds. But then, and if you look at the pinned comments, very important, I don't have a Twitter account. So Jamarl Thomas of Progressive Soapbox has a great segment. He's really great, actually. If you're on the left, Progressive Soapbox is fantastic. And I know that he wouldn't care that, because a lot of people want nothing to do with me because I'm a Trump supporter, but I think that, he wouldn't mind me saying that he's a really, really wonderful voice. So I think that, because I'm like, Typhoid Mary when it comes to the left. They don't want anything to do with me. I wonder why. But if you look at Jimbo, your novels sound like they could be Madam Secretary. Jimbo. If you look at one of the main characters, there's a corporation down below Jimbo that's run by a CEO. So you might see some of my political philosophy within those novels. But anyway, so Jimbo, thank you so very much, Jimbo. And I know, if people, they tune in and they're like, oh my God, this guy's talking about his pinned comment. What kind of loser does this? It's important because my voice is going to be growing a lot more in the coming months because it ain't going to be Biden. I'm going to make the biggest political call of all time. My channel is going to increase in popularity. So will H.A. Goodman's other channel. So will H.A. Goodman's Hyperbole Translator. So will H.A. Goodman's Golf channel. And H.A. Goodman's Crochet. And and Sewing channel. And H.A. Goodman's Plumbing network for do-it-yourself plumbing issues at home. But then you have, okay, I'm boring myself. Anyway, just look at it. It's some really, I have my author pages, the Huffington Post, Salon. I have one of a very important article from The Hill. I was a contributor at The Hill. And I have my debate with Richard Spencer, so I oppose his ideology completely, whereas people on the left don't actually oppose him. They just they just pretend that they oppose him, but they don't actually use logic and reason. You can defeat hate-filled ideologies by using logic and reason, and that's what I That's what I did. Debate is a lost, it's a lost art form. It's definitely not something that today's Democrats or liberals or progressives want to engage in, at least not with me. I don't know why. Or with anybody, really. But I obviously opposed his ideology completely. And if you look at the last 20 minutes of the debate, it's very eye-opening. I do more to defeat and undermine his ideology than anyone on the left has ever done. So check that out. And there's my books, Butthurt Top Secret Emails, Butthurt Deleted Emails. They're on Amazon. Anyway, Kershaw Kate! A.J. Goodman has a big... I'm saying, I didn't even read it. Kameshwari Kate. I don't. Well, I have to be honest, perhaps, but oh my goodness, if H.A. Badman, if you even think of thinking about my Madam Secretary in that manner, you have to put up your dukes. You'll have to, them's fighting words. I just want to let you know something. If you ever think, if you even have a dream about Madam Secretary in that manner, it's the octagon time for you and me. Kameshwari Kate, thank you. Kameshwari Kate, thank you so very, very much. But anyway, so there's 800,000. You have 800,000 people to 1 million people. But it's amazing. No one's ever heard numbers like this. We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk about our nation. We're going to talk about where we're going, where we've come from. There are more people outside of Twitter who like President Trump than anyone can imagine within Twitter. So Twitter is like, you look at Twitter and it's like its own world. And there are about 4 million people who account for 80% of the tweets. So they say there are 40 million, let's see, how many? They say 40 million Americans, but how many Americans on Twitter? Oh, how many Americans are active on Twitter? How's that? Okay, how many Americans are active on Twitter? Okay, so here you go. 48 million are active Twitter users. Roughly 42% of Twitter users on the platform. Roughly 42% of Twitter users on the platform daily. Okay, so then the U.S. accounts. It's so weird. 48 million people on Twitter. I don't know about that. Like, they're active on Twitter. But then let's just assume that number is correct. I don't think it is. But then you have 80%. 10%. So about 4.8 million people. Let's just say 4 million people who account for 80% of the tweets. Okay. So 4 million people account for 80% of the tweets. Now, how many of those accounts are devoted to politics? You can't say 1 million. Are there really 1 million pundits? No, there aren't. There are probably 300 to 400 very popular. There are probably 300 to 400 very popular Twitter accounts. So how many Twitter accounts with more than, let's just say more than 50,000 followers. So how many with more than 50,000 followers? So this is interesting. This is a 2020 article, Brandwatch. All right, so how many? 391 million accounts have no followers at all. Okay. What does that even mean? 79% of accounts are held outside the U.S. From Russia. They're all Russian. 55% of the top brands have over 100,000 followers. Okay. I mean, so if you look, you're probably going to have 300 very influential accounts, about 300 that are very influential within the Democratic Party. Okay? You're talking journalists, pundits, politicians. And that's, I think, being generous. Do you think the average American follows these? Do you think the average American, I'm even talking about, do you think the average Democrat follows these accounts? So do you think even the average CNN viewer? So you're talking about a very small percentage of the population, a very small percentage of the population. Agent Pepsi won! The anti-family in Texas. Do they? Agent Pepsi won! You're talking about a very small percentage. And why is that important? Why is that important? It's important because you have a very small percentage. You have a very small group of Twitter users. Very small group that influence American politics, or I should say influence media to such an extent that you'll have New York Times or Washington Post or CNN or MSNBC stories on what goes on between President Trump and those accounts, or how those accounts have reacted to President Trump's messages. And what started as a social media platform, and well, it's evolved into this anti-Trump, cyber dystopian, nefarious cauldron of angst against Trump. But what's taken place is that slowly the president has reversed, has turned the tables, and now he kind of runs that platform. If President Trump did not send messages every morning, what on earth would they talk about? What on earth would they talk about? How many people do you think? And this is a phenomenon that's never going to happen again. There are people who wake up and who make their names just when President Trump writes a message. They're there. They're right there. Their lives are dependent on. So, what's going to happen when he wins again? And what are they going to say? You have to understand, my life is not dependent on any contempt for a political party. I want American soldiers home with their families, with their wives and their husbands, and their sons and their daughters and their families, and their fathers and their mothers and their friends. I want Americans home. We after 20 years, you cannot stay in certain locations of the world forever. President Trump has set the groundwork to bring Americans home, to reverse U.S. foreign policy. I want a president who, a whole bunch of things, who signs executive orders combating anti-Semitism on college campuses. Just today with police reform, signs the First Step Act, presides over record low unemployment. And then, okay, you have this self-induced, whatever it was the past 3-4 months, and only for the good of the public, you know. And the experts and the Democrats were only thinking of people's, lives. They wanted to save people's, except for when it was the Democratic primary. Then it was just rain, hail, no problem. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But now you even have better than expected job numbers. I mean, you give President Trump control of the U.S. economy again, or you allow it to just flourish, and we're back to great economic numbers. So we had record low unemployment. We have a situation where President Trump is addressing a $400 billion trade deficit with China. He's he's the first president to step foot in North Korea, begin détente between North and South Korea. Yeah, are there tensions? Have tensions flared up? Yes. Okay. What does that mean? That means that it wasn't an achievement? Of course it was. It would have been worse had he not begun détente. But they don't know what détente is. They don't care. They don't care about foreign policy. They don't care. They don't even care about Medicare for all. They don't care about any. Their lives are devoted to removing President Trump's personality from their consciousness. That's all they care about. Old school dad, man. Can't believe the Republicans have not supported Trump for bringing troops home again. Exactly, old school dad man. Well, that's the thing. You have all the Bush era Republicans, Max Boot, Bill Kristol, others, who you have Agent Pepsi One. I'm sick of Agent Pepsi One. Old school dad man. You have these never Trumpers, and Trump has a 90% approval rating in the Republican Party. So you have never Trumpers who are, they're kind of swimming upstream with this. There's a 90% approval rating in the Republican Party. So what do they want to achieve other than trying to form this momentary alliance? This is hilarious with liberals who, let's just say, like Mitt Romney. Let's say Mitt Romney won the 2024 GOP nomination, which he wouldn't, but let's say he does. But he wouldn't, but let's say he would. Let's say he does. The liberals that have, joined forces with these fantastic Bush-era Republicans would jettison the Republicans in 2 seconds and then talk about how horrible they are, and there goes the camaraderie and the friendship and all that. It's kind of interesting. You have people who, they don't like Trump's personality, and then there are certain people who don't like his policies. But, I mean, those people are few and far between. The never-Trumpers might not like his... I think the never-Trumpers are people who just don't like his foreign policy. They want to keep Americans abroad forever. That's the thing. That's the thing, old school dad man. They want to... The never-Trumpers are, the Bush-era foreign policy hawks. This is why President Trump won. I'm telling you from the vantage point of somebody who used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, and the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post. The reason that President Trump is able to have such a broad appeal is because he is the antithesis of Bush-era Republicans on foreign policy. Democrats are not. Then you have this hilarious, these accounts on social media where it's like, oh yeah, country over party. I'm voting for the wonderful Biden because I don't want an authoritarian. How is he an authoritarian? How on earth is this man an authoritarian? He was set up and framed by his own intelligence agencies. He had an attorney general that was like, "Hi, Trumpy, how are you? Guess what? We're investigating you for about 3 years. Sorry. I'm Jeff Sessions. Trust me." "Oh, I'm so sorry, Trumpy. We're just going to have to get that Mueller probe." I mean, how is this man an authoritarian? Like, nothing that they can't, there's nothing that, like the reason you have 800,000 to 1 million people wanting to see President Trump speak is because you have media, Hollywood, corrupt intelligence officials. You have this apoplectic. Apoplectic is a great word. This apoplectic response to his personality, overcome with extremely indignant. This livid, apoplectic, fuming, seething, hysterical response. They're infuriated. Every time they're seething, they're fuming. Every single time they listen to Trump, it's like the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And when he wins again, what are they going to say? You have to ask yourself how they're going to react. And I was actually thinking, like, I think they'll react in stages. The first stage will be complete shock and horror because they've really convinced themselves. They'll never learn. I don't get it. Like, if you know you need to run the ball on 4th and goal, why would you go for a Hail Mary pass on the 1 yard line? Why do that all the time? With Madam Secretary, they're not going with Biden. They ain't going with Biden. They're not going with Biden. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. It ain't going to happen. So, that's that. Why would you make the same mistakes all the time? You know why? I'll tell you why. They only lost by 77,000 votes, and they've convinced themselves that the Russians wanted to. They wanted the Russians. Putin. Why Putin would want Trump, we don't know. Might have to do with that Trump is a little bit mean to NATO. I don't know. Making them pay a little bit more money. I don't know. Then you come up with these like this absurd, hilarious, like he just wants to. Trump wants to harm, the fundamentals of the alliances, the Western alliances, to make Putin stronger. You had Bill Clinton meeting with Vladimir Putin. Oh, Vladdy, that was so great at your dacha outside Moscow. Literally meeting with him alone. Where's the transcript there? Where's the transcript? Sigma Nu at UCLA. Thank you so very much. Sigma Nu UCLA. Thank you so very, very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Sigma Nu UCLA. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. It's very, very appreciative, and I thank you very, very much. Sigma Nu UCLA. Thank you very much. I have a great many friends who went to UCLA. Great many friends. So thank you, Sigma Nu UCLA. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you very much. If you look at what's going to take place November 3rd is right around the corner. Right around the corner. Sigma Nu, UCLA, thank you again. Very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You look, ladies and gentlemen, November 3rd is right around the corner. I'm telling you, it's right around the corner. And then the question is, how do they react? Everyone you know, well, I should say, everyone who has utter contempt for President Trump that you know, they might blame you for, which would actually be hilarious. It's your fault. And yes, it is my fault. Yeah. And I know I'm going to get from people I know, I just want to let you know, if it wasn't for you spouting nonsense. Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. Oh, great. Just bugs everywhere. Prehistoric bugs. Sigma Nu, UCLA! UCLA! Sigma Nu, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Old school dad man! My favorite line, Trump lied 1,800 times since he took office. What a... You can, multiply that times 10 for every story that said that Trump worked with Russia or could have worked with Russia or the Russians wanted Trump and everything. So, it's like... Timothy, thank you. Old school dad man, it's like they found out, if you read, nobody reads the intelligence community reports. Nobody reads. I'm the only pundit on the planet that's read the actual reports. It says that they're moderately to highly confident. And then Mueller said, there's another one. It's hilarious. How come? It's so funny. The Democrats are run by, what? It's in your report. What? McKinley died? When? It's it's in the report. Do you even know? You know who purchased the Steele dossier? What? What? What'd you say? It's Clinton purchased the dossier. That's the only old school dad man, thank you. I know. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you. That's the only evidence they have, aside from the high to moderate confidence, and then the third-party tech firm that they purchased. They should have just called Microsoft or Apple or whatever, or some tech firm and said, hey, look at our servers. At least then it would have been more reputable than, imagine if Trump said, we found Trump Strike. Let's say he found a company called Trump Strike. The Democrats would be even more apoplectic than they usually are. He found Trump Strike. He paid for them. He paid for the assessment. How could you even trust it? But when they do it, it's well, they're very reputable. That's another. They've destroyed the meaning of words. Reputable, credible. Yeah, to them. Their opinion. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you. Their opinion. Sandiford. I can't read what's public school. Thank you, Sandiford. Thank you. It's they have no evidence, so every article that was ever written, if you judge a pundit or a journalist or an article by with the standards you judge President Trump, any hyperbole at all is an absolute deception and lie. So all you had was hyperbole. All you had was false statements regarding President Trump. And furthermore, there was never even a reason to even question or be suspicious at all. Their whole thing was, well, we didn't know. Well, we could have been, we had no clue. We had no understanding. It was so chaotic. It's no, we have the text messages from Strzok and Page. We have, and Kleinsmith also. All the people investigating President Trump and who investigated Madam Secretary prior to President Trump, They all jotted down and wrote their thoughts. We know their sentiments. We know their biases. We know who they wanted to win and who they didn't want to win. So we already know why they engaged in the actions they did. So when they lose again, see, you have to prepare yourself. I mean, the story is not the election, because Trump's going to win the election. They're not. I mean, it ain't going to be with Biden. It'll be with Hillary Clinton. I will have made the biggest political call of all time. Of course, nothing they do, they don't want to give it. It's all about me. They don't want to give me the victory. They don't want to give me the big win. So they're going to prolong the madness up until the beginning of August. I think we need Madam Secretary. Yeah, well, she only lost by 77,000 votes, and Putin, the rootin' Putin, he stole the election. I mean, Biden slid into second, and he has to, and the ACL, Eric Swalwell, he doesn't want to run now. Who do we have? Bloomberg? And then they're going to go to Madam Secretary, and it's going to be seamless. Seamless. Jordan B. Michael Lee, yes. Jordan B. joined late tonight. Thoughts on V-shaped economy recovery? I'm doing well with it. Yes, Jordan B. It'll be V-shaped. I don't know how long it'll take for the 35 million people to get back. We have 30 million people unemployed. I don't know how long it'll be before these people are back, to where they were making the same income as they were before. But yeah, this was self-induced. Jordan B. and thank you again. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you again. This was self-induced, Jordan B. So, it's if you had a structure, if you had a real estate bubble, credit bubble, stock market bubble, if you had people, leveraging, like over-leveraged and borrowing more than they could afford, and, if you had some kind of structural problem with the United States economy. I mean, we do have structural issues, but not like in 08 with credit default swaps and banks investing in risky investments, and now it's even the banks aren't giving loans. Very difficult to get a loan from a bank. So, what was it structurally that caused this? Well, no, it was you gave the keys to the United States economy to certain people you shouldn't have given the keys to. That's it. So Jordan B., I think there's going to be a V-shaped economy. You look at Jordan B. and Sigma Nu UCLA. Thank you again. You look at when the economy rebounds. It's going to rebound by November. I mean, people are they're already living their lives, spending money, going out again. I mean, you're going to see, consumer spending up. You're going to see GDP increase. You're going to see unemployment decrease. You're going to see all of these stock market, it's going to continue to do okay. The Democrat, the left, so they can only react to this with more hyperbole. But at a certain point, you can't. If you already despise President Trump, you can't despise him more. What are they going to do? What can they possibly do to show how much contempt they have for him? There's not more. And then at a certain, when it reaches a certain level, then it hurts the Democratic Party. So, and they're not running on any legislation or any lofty, idealistic policy goals. What, Medicare for all? No. That was a ploy to get left-leaning people to vote Democrat. So, there's really nothing more there's nothing they can do. They can't do anything else. They cannot do anything else. Okay, they've reached maximum contempt level for Trump. And they can't do any more than they're doing on social media. They've reached maximum dystopian Matrix level absurdity. So now they just have to, like, for example, they went after Trump because of drinking water. Like, I mean, they've gone from, oh my God, we needed to impeach him because he withheld military assistance because Biden is pure as the driven snow, to now he's drinking water in a bizarre manner. Meanwhile, this is all to mask the serious issues pertaining to that topic that they face. Serious issues. Like, serious issues. So we just wait. We just gotta wait. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, like, it's not working. I am telling you, they're not going with Joe Biden. When he drops out or when he gets replaced, I will have made the biggest political... I'm the only person now saying it. I'm the only holdout. I'm like up in the hills. There's like, everyone's like, just come down already. The battle's over. You lost. Like, no, I didn't. It's not going to be Biden. I'll never come down. It ain't going to be Biden. Okay? You watching right now, you have a better chance of becoming Democratic nominee. You are you watching this channel? You have a better chance of becoming Democratic nominee. And you're a Trump supporter. Or a progressive who's watching who will never, ever in a million years vote for what Lindsey Graham said. Or God has never. If you have a problem with Joe Biden, then you have a problem with your life. Lindsey Graham has almost like when you hear Lindsey Graham speak, I don't know if I can do his accent, but he's the best man that God ever created. There's never been a man like Biden. There's no man that's God, the good Lord, ever created. That's what Lindsey Graham said. There's never been a better man in the world than the great Biden, than the great and all-powerful Biden. I love him. That's probably the next ad from Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham. There's just going to be Lindsey Graham ads. That's it. I never met anyone. If you don't like him, you have a problem in your soul. Jimbo! I wish I could be there when Biden gets... And my Secretary of Script finally... You know what, Jimbo? What they're... He won't... First of all, he doesn't use text message. So what they'll do, and they'll be like, Jimbo, it's going to be like this. Say this, okay? I like to, scorpions late at night. What? What did I say? Oh my God. Biden said he likes to you-know-what with scorpions. It get hot. Ha! Exactly. If it get hot. Ha! Get hot. Jimbo! It's gonna be a teleprompter, and he'll just read it. Like he read whatever the "you ain't" comment with Charlemagne. That was part of a shtick. Oh, Sandiford, I didn't. Sandiford! Same network silent about back at the height of the Floyd protests are now deeply concerned. Exactly. Exactly. Well, anything. They actually have two. They actually have like a gathering for Democrats, which is like, oh, this is great, and then like the same, like within an hour, serious concerns about Trump's speech. So it's Sandiford. It's actually there's actually Alf. Hello to my Australian crew. Thank you so very much. My viewers in Australia, thank you. My viewers in the UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, thank you so very much. Nepal, I have viewers everywhere. Thank you. Hong Kong, thank you. Ain't going to It's interesting because if they were to go with Biden, it would be the most colossal, the absolute most colossal tanking of a political party. And they don't, it's funny too because they don't even see it. They truly think, Eric H526, thank you again, thank you. They truly think that, they truly think that, Mangy, hello. That's awesome. Exactly, Luke St. Martin, exactly. Climb BMX, hello. They're like, they have one great NBC News article like, Biden, much less unpopular than Clinton was at this point. What? What kind of pathetic headline is that? Much less unpopular? Is that how you, choose a wife or a husband or a car or whatever? You are so much less horrible than the alternative. This is fantastic. I want you, honey. Do you really love me? Well, you're so much less atrocious. I bought my car because it was less crappy than the other car. That's the headline. Biden, less unpopular. Wow, that's great. That ought to really, bring in the votes for Biden. Aggrieved Coyote, thank you. Exactly, Cosmic Grandpa. But the mental the mental gymnastics is predicated upon emotion. But see, the thing is, I actually know all the Achilles heels. I know the soft spots on the left, the hypocritical, duplicitous, disingenuous elements. So, Sigma Nu UCLA. No mandatory COVID. Oh, yeah. No. It should never be a mandatory. Anything that goes into your body should never be mandatory. No. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Sigma Nu UCLA, greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you. No, nothing should be mandatory. Nothing should ever be. There should never be a mandatory health procedure. An actual procedure should never be mandatory. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so very, very much. Your support is greatly appreciated. Everybody, to my super chat, your support is greatly appreciated. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so very, very much. Be here November 3rd. Sigma Nu UCLA, everybody. It's going to be amazing. Do you understand? It's kind of like when you keep talking. It's like, you know what it would be like? It's like, here we go. Biden 49, Trump 45. Biden 49, Trump 43. Biden 49, Trump 43. Biden 49, Trump 42. Biden 50, Trump 42. These are polling averages. This is from 538. Like, when it ain't going to be Biden. If it was, oh my God. If it was, you would have, like, it would be an utter catastrophe. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so very, very much. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you. And I agree with you. No mandatory, like, no health procedure should be forced upon anyone. Jimbo! Once the much less unpopular metric goes out, Andrew Maker movie. Jimbo, yes. Well, that's they're traumatized from Madam Sec. But see, the spin is going to happen, and they're going to then say the spin is going to happen. The spin is going to happen, and once the spin takes place, hey, we need Madam Secretary. Then, Jordan B. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you again. UCLA, thank you, Sigma Nu, thank you. Thanks for the feedback on the V-shaped recovery, bro. With sports being out, the few friends I have left are planning debate parties. Trump is going to sweep the floor with whoever the left throws. Exactly. Jordan B., it's going to be Madam Secretary versus Trump in the debates. And it'll be the most watched. Oh my God! Could you imagine the live streams on this channel, H.A. Good? I'll have live stream. Let's put it this way: I'll have live streams on H.A. Goodman's other channel, and whatever I do with H.A. Goodman Hyperbole channel and Golf channel and Crochet and H.A. Goodman's Cosmetic channel and whatever. CG3SSF, hello. Jordan B, thank you. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you. By the way, everybody, if you want to be part of an email list, please go ahead and email contactgoodman78@gmail.com. Eventually, I'm going to start a newsletter and all those good things. So if you want to be part of a newsletter, it's contactgoodman78@gmail.com. So please go ahead and contact me if you'd like. Pete Solano! What are your thoughts on the Seattle governor and police standing down and letting people take over huge areas of the city? Pete, I'm going to speak in roundabout terms. It's not just they're sympathetic. The people who are taking over certain areas of the city are within the government also. So that's pretty obvious. Pete Solano, it's not, I think people are looking at this, Sigma Nu UCLA, Jordan B, Jimbo, thank you. Pete Solano, people are looking at this, I think, from the reverse. It's not, hey, why is this happening? It's, hey, it's happening because the people who could stop it want it to. Or they're a part of it. Okay, that doesn't happen. See, that would never happen in Los Angeles. California is a very interesting state. You would think that it's very, very liberal, but it's also there's an undercurrent that's conservative. It's very interesting. It's not like Washington is Seattle's very liberal. They are very liberal. Minnesota or Minneapolis, you would think is extremely liberal. Well, look what took place in Minneapolis. But no, Pete. That's an example of government officials who want it to happen for whatever reason. It's not like they're caught off guard. They want it to happen. Almost certainly. I can't tell you with certainty. I'm highly to moderately confident. Pete Solano, I'm highly to moderately confident about that. But I don't think that I don't think that you can have anything like that Certain things, ladies and gentlemen, require complicity. That's all. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I mean, it is a big deal, but I don't think it's I don't think there's a like, it's not this shocking, stunning development that you have a state and a city where the actual city is being run by a group and government officials are allowing it to take place. It's not that they're allowing it to take place. They want it to take place. Certain people want it to take place. That's all. And that goes for law enforcement too. I'm moderately to highly confident. I can't tell you certain because I have no evidence, but that's my opinion. I don't think that you have something like that in the United States of America that's not I don't think that's a possibility without complicity. So, that's all. I don't think that's a possibility without certain people being complicit or but anyway, great discussion, Pete. Thank you. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that the big issue is going to be how the enjoyment derived from seeing the reaction on social media to President Trump winning again. And I'll leave you with this thought. Jordan B. Exactly. I'm from Texas, Louisiana, but now reside in San Bernardino County. Lots of self-reliant people that just want to live their lives. Recently had to spend for security gates and cameras. Yeah. It's, you can never be too cautious, Jordan B., especially in this day and age. You have to protect yourself, your family, and it's interesting. Democrats also, you have Hollywood celebrities of armed security, but you'd never know it from their rhetoric. Jordan B., God bless you. Take care. And yeah, I agree. It's you always have to stay safe, especially in this day and age. Not your problem. Will there be pushback from GOP to this insanity? Probably not most of the GOP. Probably not most of the GOP. Jordan B., thank you again. Thank you again, Jordan B. Yeah, I think it's important in this day and age to be safe and, take precautions. And I think also one of the keys to safety is making sure you're not at the wrong place at the wrong time. That's really important. That's, especially in this day and age, you just don't want to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think in any time period, but ladies and gentlemen, God bless to my super chat. Thank you so very much. Jordan B., thank you. Sigma Nu UCLA, thank you so very much, Sigma Nu UCLA. Please be here November 3rd. Everyone be here November 3rd. We're going to have a good time. In August, I will have made the biggest political prediction of all time, and it will be such a pleasure to celebrate with everybody here. Give me your thoughts below, everyone. Thank you. God bless to my super chat. Thank you. Sigma Nu UCLA. Thank you again. Thank you again, sir. And everyone, stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody.